The example of Mariyanadu, with its neat houses and prosperous people, speaks louder than words. Nalini makes effective use of that example in her efforts to start training courses and to organize the cooperative movement in the neighboring villages.
Well, the idea of mariyanadu was actually to have a demonstration in a small area to find out whether things could work, and if they did with the fishing community, then we would try to see if these experiments would work in natural villages, because mariyanadu has been a village that's been created. And so one of the first steps to extension was, when we felt confident about what we were doing, was that we could train young people from other fishing villages and interior villages to try to do similar things in their villages. And so we had a kind of training program, an intensive training program of 5 months, where young people who were selected from their villages came and lived in mariyanadu for 5 months. We had different subjects, related to personal life, social life, and life in the country. And when they went back to their villages, if they found that they could do something, then we helped them start small programs. Initially, the girls started things like mother and child care, children's programs, literacy programs for women. And then after that, alongside, we thought young men should also have some kind of orientation, people who had been studying, because in Kerala the rate of literacy is quite high. And so we started organizing leadership programs for young people. Through the young girls and boys who were already doing small things in their villages, and through what was actually happening in mariyanadu, fishermen thought that there was some possibility for them to come together as well. And so they began to approach us to ask whether we could help them organize into a cooperative society or things like this. They didn't really know what they wanted, but it was left to us to analyze their needs. And that's how we actually went. Of course, in many cases, the fishermen thought it was a way to get money. And we had many groups that kind of faded off because they realized that it was not the means to get money, but that they would have to first cooperate. So it was only really the groups who wanted to cooperate and then get something through that, through their own initiative, who pursued. So actually now we have outside 4 groups that are really active, although we could have had easily about 6 or 8 groups that asked for something to be done.
We believe that the people are poor not because they are destined to be poor. They have all the potentials to come up from their poverty. But the only thing is, in the existing society, there are vested interests which are not allowing them to be away from this poverty. So it's enough that we make them aware of the situation in which they are and their potentiality, their power. Then we believe that the people can find out their own answers for the problems in which they are.
The Mariyanadu Community Development Project and the Fishermen's Co-op are projects of the Social Service Society of the Diocese of Trivandrum. When Bishop Peter Bernard Pereira, Latin Catholic Bishop of Trivandrum, was himself a priest, he worked among fishermen on the slopes of Kerala. Being a man of charity, he was appalled at their low standard of living and the way they always seemed to be under the control of pawnbrokers and moneylenders, and so he tried to help. He raised money elsewhere and bought nets and boats for the fishermen. He set up machinery to market the fish on behalf of the fishermen. But the fishermen didn't understand the use of the nets, and the smarter ones told the others that the newfangled nets wouldn't work, or if they did, they would kill off all the fish. So the fishermen sold the nets for small amounts, and then told Father Pereira that they'd lost them. And when he tried to market the fish on the fishermen's behalf, he was cheated right, left and centre, and forced out of business with large debts. So he learnt a philosophy which now permeates all the social work in the Diocese of Trivandrum. It is that change must come naturally if it is to last. Outsiders can't come in and impose solutions. What they can do is to respond to the felt needs of the people and help to meet them. But the people must really have felt these needs if the help is to be of any use. The 4 animators of Mariyanadu are all highly qualified and talented people who could do well in any professional career. They've chosen one which pays in terms of fulfillment rather than in terms of money. They've brought to the people of the coast a wealth of skill and expert knowledge, but they've also learned a lot themselves. They've learned to be patient and to respect the right of others to make up their own minds in their own time. Because they built slowly, they've built something that will last.